Welcome back to Showdown. Janine Perrott filling in for Peter Van Onselen. We now go to our panel 2, Showdown. That's what it's called, Liberal and Labor. We've got 2 backbenchers tonight. Kelly O'Dwyer, member for Higgins Coalition in Melbourne. Hello, Kelly.
Great to be with you, Janine.
And you're going to be up against one Andrew Lee, the member for Fraser in the ACT, who is momentarily going to be in our Canberra office, but we'll have to kick off with you while he gets settled. Very busy. Everyone in Labor's very, very busy at the moment. They're all running around.
Like whirling dervishes at the moment.
They are. Now, would you like to answer how one finds it on your side of politics when you go from a lay-down misere to dead heat?
Well, look, I think nobody would ever say any election is the lay-down misere, and we've never taken it for granted, and I think anybody who ever does is very foolish. It is a great thing to earn the trust of the Australian people, and each day we have set about earning that trust in developing our policies and announcing our vision for the future of the country. At the same time, we've also been holding Labor to account, and there's a lot that they need to be held to account for.
Sure, I understand all that, but just from a really human point of view, how does it feel to see that 50-50? Do you think, as I just said to Matthias Coleman, do you think the people must be idiots? Do you say to yourself, how can they do this? It's only been 2 weeks. Or do you say to yourself, maybe we thought this was a bigger issue than they do?
Well, look, I don't think anybody's surprised by the fact that there has been an uptick in the polls for Labor.
But
it
even?
happened when... No, it happened when Julia Gillard tore down Kevin Rudd, and again, it's happened now that Kevin Rudd has torn down Julia Gillard. I actually think that that was entirely expected. Australians are very fair-minded, and they're always prepared to give people a fair go. And you know, I think that they will make an evaluation on the Labor Party and its record, look at the very, very deliberate contrast between the Labor Party and the Liberal Party and what we offer. The Labor Party continues to offer instability and division. We offer a very stable team in the alternative.
Okay, I'm going to cut into you there, Kelly, because we've got Andrew has turned up. He's in our Canberra studio. Welcome, Andrew Lee.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
Are you trying to emulate your PM? It's all go. It's exhausting. He's Eddie everywhere today. Is this the new look one? Because he seems, as I said in the opening, as frenetic as the old look.
Oh, Kevin Rudd is a man of great energy and enthusiasm, and he's also been talking a lot about policies and ideas, and
well,
I think that's what people want to hear from their
dervish.
leaders.
He's all movement and all spin.
He's certainly committed to building a better Australia, and you've seen that over the course of the 6 years of the Labor government. You've seen really important investments over that period and important decisions. I don't think any Australian wants a Prime Minister who's going to sit there on the couch with their feet up.
Right, I don't think we get those anymore. But can I ask you, from the poll point of view, is the danger for you, while you get a momentary kick of, oh, hey, that's good, we're back in the game, is there a fear, though, that perhaps all these people who are answering, oh, yes, you know, we'll vote Labor if Kevin comes back, didn't really expect it to be this close? Is there a fear that the thought, it's nice to have him back and have Julia Gillard gone, but we didn't actually want them to win?
I don't place any stock in the polls, but what I do see is a extra spring in the step of many of my colleagues in marginal seats, and that's because they're enthusiastic not only about defending the reforms of this term, reforms like disability care, beginning to build the national broadband network, and putting in place the foundations for better schools. And we've just seen Tasmania signing up today to the National Plan for School Improvement.
Okay, I'm going to ask Kelly about that. Kelly, how did you feel? This is the first state to sign up since Kevin Rudd got there. Momentum still continuing on Gonski.
Well, it's another Labor state signing up to a Labor government. I'd be very interested to see the detail in terms of what they've actually signed up to, whether in fact it's a different deal to the deal that has been offered to other states. Look, you know, the Labor government is trying to offer deals to different states in order to try and project that they're moving forward on this issue. They've already acknowledged that they won't be able to have any school funding plan in place before the end of the year. They've left their run very late. They're not even implementing Gonski, which is what they said this whole reform was about. The Gonski review said that they wanted to change funding arrangements such that the Commonwealth was offering $6.5 billion each and every year. What this current government is actually cutting education funding to schools.
Andrew Lee,
and that's before you even get to higher education.
Andrew Lee, can I get to another issue today? Gary Gray seemed to have said the carbon tax is here to stay. Is that a good thing for your election prospects?
Carbon pricing is absolutely a good thing for Australia. We're the highest emitter per capita, and when you ask every serious economist, and that's my profession, what's the best way of decreasing carbon pollution? They say put a price on it. In fact, Mr Abbott himself has said this. If you want to do it, why not do it with a simple tax, he said. Previous Liberal leaders, John Howard, Brendan Nelson, Malcolm Turnbull backed it because it's the cheapest, it's the most effective way of reducing carbon pollution.
OK, well, let's try and get off the policy statements a little bit and get to a few things maybe we can just get a reaction to. One I found interesting this week, Kelly, how did you like Paul Howes coming out? There was a turn up for the books calling for the government position on corrupt unions and clamping down to be as tough as the coalition's policy on this. Good to have backing from Paul Howes?
Well, you've got a first on Sky. This is the first time that I can categorically say that I do agree with Paul Howes, and thank goodness that he has seen the error of his ways and that he's not defending the Bill Shorten line, which is to be soft on corrupt union bosses. Thank goodness that he has seen that it is a real cancer within the union movement and within Australian society more broadly to have different rules for corrupt union bosses than for dodgy bosses in general in companies. We have a much stronger policy on this. It's 20 times the penalty, civil penalty, and we have criminal penalties.
Andrew Lee, what do you say to that?
We've seen a significant increase in penalties for union officials who do the wrong thing under this government,
enough for Paul
and I think that's absolutely the right thing, because union officials who do the wrong thing bring their profession into disrepute. They bring the union movement as a whole into disrepute. I believe that the tightening of penalties on union officials who do the wrong thing was the appropriate thing.
But it should be tougher. It should be the same.
Well, a union isn't a corporation, and to suggest that we ought to simply extend corporate law across to non-corporate entities would, I think, leave Australians who, for example, run partnerships
member funds,
in an uncertain position.
Well,
naturally, no one supports misuse, and I support the increase in penalties that's happened under this government.
OK, while we're talking about misuse of funds, Kelly, your maximum leader was in trouble today over having to pay back $9,000. Again, this negates a bit of a negative ad on Peter Slipper, doesn't it? Given he's put out a statement pointing out his was much less.
No, not at all. In fact, when the Special Minister for State, a Labor Special Minister for State, actually looked into this, he said that there was no issue here, nothing to see, and that we should all move on.
Oh, OK. Andrew, final kick to you, given that you came in late.
I was told 8:30, so apologies if there was any miscommunication.
I didn't mean it. I thought you were busy emulating your leader, but that's all right.
Not at all. No. I thought I was on time. Now,
you were late for a very important date.
Don't be mean to him.
Entirely for Mr Abbott, but certainly I would imagine that he would have it in the back of his mind when he's calling other kettles black.
But it is interesting today to see the ALP back on the mud throwing side. You've been copping it all this time, haven't you?
I don't think there's been any mud throwing from our side. I think there's been an acknowledgement that Mr Abbott did the wrong thing, and he repaid the expenses as is appropriate.
OK. Well, we're going to leave it there, and thank you very much for getting there, Andrew. It was nice to talk to you tonight. Andrew Lee in Canberra and Kelly O'Dwyer in Melbourne.
Great to be with you.
Thank you very much. And we've got another fine panel for you after this break.